This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask with your host, Dr. Judith Briles, on the Rockstar Radio Network. On the show today, you'll find out where book publishing is going and how to take advantage of it, how to identify and avoid publishing predators, what opportunities are emerging as the book trade evolves in new forms, how to avoid losing money, and much, much more. Join us now as a variety of publishing pros will deliver insights and strategies to take the author to the next level of publishing. It's your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. Brought to you by Author U and the Book Shepherd on the Rockstar Radio Network. And now, here's your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
Well, it's a great day in the book world. We just had some announcements from one of the big indie, well, not because the big boys enter into this contest, but the Book Awards, USA Book News, has their fall announcements for people who entered in several months ago. They had over 2,000 entries, and I'm thrilled to say that we had over a dozen winners. Book Shepherd and Author U members, clients, and I even have to, I get to boast too, because Author U, my book, Author U, Creating and Building Your Author and Book Platforms, took one of the gold winner awards for best writing and publishing. So that was very cool. So lots going on, and it's going to be lots going on during our session today. I have the amazing and awesome Joan Stewart with us for the hour. Joan is known as the Publicity Hound, and we're going to talk about cool and fun and really free promotional tools that you as authors and publicity hounds can use to really continue to expand your brand, your words, your books, so you connect with the right resources at the right time with the right hook, the right pitch, the right everything. So let's bring Joan on. Hi, Joan. How are you?
Hi, Judith. I'm wonderful. Hello, authors. Hello, publishers. Hello, author wannabes. It's great to be here.
There is a lot of author wannabes out here that go into it, but and it really makes it quite a lot of fun for people who really are getting on this journey and they want to do it the right way, in the right step with the right foot. So here's what I think we'll just jump into, and Joan, and I should tell everyone that Joan and I are doing a cruise in January called the Publishing at Sea Cruise, and there's actually, because we were able to pick up one more cabin, we have only one spot, and I have to tell you, you have to be female to go in it because you're going to share it with the most amazing woman from Canada, but we have one spot available. It's a balcony spot. If you were to book it, the ship is sold out in this category. If you were to book it, it would cost you over $2,000. It's only $1,200 for the cruise, the workshops, the gratuities are included, the taxes are included. If you want to get information and also listen to the awesome webinars that Joan and our other partners, Amy Collins and Georgia McCabe, did, they are free on the publishingatsea.com website. So, Joan, let's jump into this. What are we going to talk about today to really move us into the expert realm in the publicity arena?
We are going to talk about cool tools. Most of them are free. I think there's just one that's a paid tool, and these are tools that I have come across this past year that my publicity hounds have raved about. These are people who subscribe to my newsletter and watch my YouTube channel and read my blog, and I've gotten fabulous feedback on all of these, and some are fairly new. So, and I don't have them in any particular order, and I can promise you that there's something here for everybody. So if it's okay with you, I'm just going to dive in.
I think so. So I think all our listeners, although they can get this on the replay because it'll be up by tomorrow, you'll be able to replay it and go to the authoru.org website and just download it and click on and download it. But also get out your pen and pencil because we're going to start reeling them off. Okay. All right,
Okay, and I'm
ready.
going to give you some URLs, some website addresses too, so get your pencils and your paper in hand or get in front of a computer so you can copy these down. The first one, I thought I had died and went to heaven when I found this tool, because you know how when you're trying to change your Twitter profile image, or you're trying to change that great big photo on your Facebook page that goes across the top and you can't remember how many pixels it's supposed to be, so you go onto Google and you Google it and you're wasting tons of time. I found a tool called the Social Media Image Maker. And what it does is, it's a site. It's all just it's a one-page site. Okay, and you scroll up and down, and it has the little templates there for virtually every social media image that you will need, from your Facebook cover image to your Twitter header image, your YouTube background image. It's got all of the sizes for Google+, Flickr, Vimeo, Pinterest, Skype, Tumblr, LinkedIn, your Gravatar, Foursquare, and more. And what's really cool about this is you can pick which one you want, and all you have to do is import a photo right from your hard drive into the little square that's right there, and you can crop it right there on the site to the specifications for whatever the height and the width needs to be. You can create it right there on the site. Save it, and then just upload it right to your social media site. Easy peasy, no hassle whatsoever. People just love it. And I've turned it into a short link for you guys. So you want to go to budurl.com/social media photos. And the social media image maker URL is really goofy. It's not socialmediaimagemaker.com. It's something that you would never think of. So go to budurl.com/social media photos and start to play around with that. And if you decide that you have a junky Google Plus photo or something, you pretty much, get a good stock photo from one of the stock photo sites, and you can have a lot of fun with this tool. And you don't even have to know the dimensions. It has all the dimensions right there for you.
That's
okay,
perfect. So let me. I have a question. Because is it bud.url/social media photos?
No,
is that the
budurl.com?
Okay, and then
social media photos.
Okay, so that's the hot link to go to get this amazing tool. I mean, because I really wrote down for a tweet, free. I wrote down the tweet because it's going to start out. Do pixels got you puzzled? Because it is a huge issue for me.
This next one, this is one that my publicity hounds went crazy over. I got so much feedback on this one tool. I had, just dozens of people emailing me. What it is it's a tool that grades your headlines. So let's say that you're writing a blog post on something, and you've come up with what you think is a pretty good headline. So you come to this site, and it's got sort of a boring name. It's called the Emotional Marketing Value Headline Analyzer, which sounds really academic. And it's from, I think it's from like the American Marketing Institute or something like that. But what you do is you plug your headline into the window, and then you pick the category that the headline should be for. Is it for business? Is it for health? Is it for food? Is it for whatever? And you click the button, and it comes back, and it gives you a percentage of a grade. And then it explains to you whether or not it's pressing people's emotional buttons. And if you have a really low score, that means it's not. Now, here's the cool part. Once you find out what's wrong with the headline, you can go back and play with it again and constantly keep trying to increase your score. I've had people write to me saying, the first one was in the 30 percentile, and I've upped it, and now it's in the 80th percentile, and I'm going to go back and see if I can get into the 90s. So this little tool keeps sort of pushing you to write a better headline. And it's really a lot of fun. So I'm going to give you the website address. You want to go to A like Apple, M like marketing, aminstitute.com/headline. And that's all lowercase. aminstitute.com/headline. And let me give you some ideas of what you can use this for, okay? I would certainly use it for blog posts and articles. I would also use it if you're writing an email subject line, like let's say you're doing email marketing. I do a lot of email marketing. You can improve your email subject line with this little tool and see how high you can get on it. I would use it for white papers. You can also use it for tweets, anything that you would write a headline for. Let's say you've got some marketing copy, maybe some flyers about your book. Plug your headline into the little window, pick the category, hit the button, and you will get a score. And if you don't like the score, keep trying to improve it.
Joan, when I've played with this site actually myself, and I remember reading some of the preliminary info on it, and it said it was really difficult to get that 80 score that you referred that someone got.
Yes, very difficult. Yes, it is. I got into the 80th with just one of mine. I've had a couple of people of mine. One got into the 80s, one got into the 90s, one guy got 100. Oh, and it's really hard to rank high. But keep trying. And if anything, Judith, the fourth headline you write will most likely be a lot better than the first one that you write.
That is always the case. So can you give us some examples of a
I happen to have an example.
Good, better, best type thing? Yeah.
I was playing with it before your producer called me, and I took one of the headlines that we had for the webinar we did on the publishing predators. And I couldn't remember the exact headline, but it was something like Authors Beware, how to avoid the publishing predators. And I got a 12.5% on it.
Okay, hold on at that because we're going to go to a commercial break. So how do you move from 12.5 on a score for emotional grabbing hooking to the big enchilada? You're going to find out when we come back. I'm Judith Briles, and it's your guide to book publishing.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these on the Rockstar Radio Network.
Is there a book in you or another? Author U will show you how to create, develop, and publish your book without being hoodwinked. If you already have a book out, you'll find a supportive and brainstorming community that's connected and creative no matter where you live. Author U brings in national experts for its book camps and annual author extravaganza held each May. It has regular meetings and delivers webinars for its members on timely topics. Through Author U's extensive network, members enjoy exclusive benefits, including significant discounts for a variety of services necessary to publishing. The Resource, its online book publishing news magazine, is content-heavy and it's free. If you want to create a book that has pizzazz, punch, and panache, Author U is for you. If you're a hobbyist or a casual author, it's not. Join Author U today through its website at authoru.org. Follow Author U on Twitter at Author U and on Facebook at Author U, where timely author and publishing tips and articles are posted daily. Author U, where the author goes to become seriously successful.
Do you sell stuff? Do you want to sell books? Lots of them? If yes, you must take credit cards, the most widely used form of payment today. The Free Terminal has created a special program for your guide to book publishing listeners. No contract, all equipment is free, extremely low rates, and no termination fees ever. Contact Alan Dean at alan@thefreeterminal.com or call him at 303-668-6828. The Free Terminal has handled all credit card transactions for both Author You and Judith for over a year. Don't wait another day. Contact Alan at thefreeterminal.com or call 303-668-6828 and tell him you want the no contract Author You deal.
Every picture tells a story, and it's a truism that people do judge a book by its cover. Nick Sellinger and NZ Graphics have been in the business of producing superior graphic cover design and interior layout for self-published authors, independent and traditional publishers for years. He has developed a reputation for excellent work, fast turnarounds, and best of all, affordable pricing. NZ Graphics also produces ebooks and book marketing materials such as posters, sell sheets, postcards, bookmarks, business cards, logos, and more. Books designed for his clients have won multiple book awards, including Best Book Award by U.S. Book News, multiple Evie Awards from the Colorado Independent Publishers Association, Indie Book Awards, the San Francisco Book Festival Award, and Freedom Medal Award from Valley Forge. Visit www.nzgraphics.com or call 303-985-4174 for more details about making your book the success it should be. Mention that you are an FOJ, friend of Judith's, and that you heard about NZ Graphics on your guide to book publishing.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask on the Rockstar Radio Network. If you want to write and publish a book, if you want to be successful as an author, your guide to book publishing, everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask, is for you. Stay tuned and you'll hear about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
So it's a continuing great day in author and bookland, and with me is Joan Stewart, best known as the Publicity Hound. I would encourage all of you to go to the publicityhound.com's website and sign up for her fabulous blog, which is a freebie. And Joan is talking about cool tools that we can use to really get us above the crowd. And we're talking about how to grab headlines, and she's introduced a URL, aminstitute.com, which you can find the emotional hook, the grab for your headlines. And we're sharing with you a technique and how we started at one headline and we goosed it up just with a couple of changes of words. So, Joan, you left us. We were at 13 or something
right.
like that.
And I want to correct the URL for everybody.
Uh-oh.
It's aminstitute.com/headline.
Oh, right. Headlines.
You have to put the
okay.
slash headline on there.
Yep.
So anyway, so here's what I did. My first, I took what I thought was the title of a webinar that Judith and I and a couple of the other book experts who are hosting this cruise used for one of our webinars, and it was Authors Beware, What You Must Know Now to Avoid Being Fleeced by the Publishing Predators. That's actually the correct title. I was fooling around with it. I couldn't remember the title. So I plugged in Authors Beware, What You Must Know to Avoid Being Fleeced. And I got 12.5%, and that's pretty low. So I tried it again, and I plugged in Authors Beware, What You Must Know About the Publishing Predators Who Are Trying to Rip You Off. And the score jumped to 23.08%. Then, during the break, Judith and I were talking, and we got the exact title, Authors Beware, What You Must Know Now to Avoid Being Fleeced by the Publishing Predators. And the score jumped up to 35.71%. So if we could stay here for the next hour and probably get that score into the 60s just by brainstorming some emotional words, but it's just a fun little tool that you don't have to put up with dull headlines anymore. Let me give you another little headline tip. a fabulous magazine for great headlines that you can steal is Cosmopolitan Magazine. The next time you're out and about, grab a Cosmo. You don't even have to buy it. Just whip out a notepad and a pen and start copying some of the headlines that go onto the magazine site. And you can look for a lot of the Cosmopolitan covers under Google Images. They have fabulous they're all formula headlines. Then you can steal them and take out a word or two and substitute your own word and make that headline yours. That's what all the copywriters do. They basically steal each other's formula headlines.
And then what you can do is go over to the aminstitute.com/headlines and plug that in and check it out and see how it does. But the thing is, it is the hook. What can you do? And I've always said, you've all heard me say this before, that problems make the world go around for authors. So if you can do anything that addresses a problem, screams at them, and answers the solution in just a word or two, you've got a home run. And I should say this, there are people who are paid gazillions of dollars to write headlines. Another resource, Joan, I'll add to Cosmo, is the National Enquirer. That they come up with some off-the-wall headlines. And so take advantage of them. I mean, they know what they're doing. Remember that their buyer, especially National Enquirer, is the person standing in the grocery store line. That's who they're trying to get to pick it up. And who out there has not picked up one of those tabloids and went through them while you were waiting for your turn to be checked out? Count me in.
Right. Okay,
All right.
Ready for the next one? Okay. You authors, of course you have books, but you might have other things as well. You may have produced spin-off products from your books, like board games, or maybe, it could be wall calendars. Maybe you even have your own app or your own gadget or something. This week I discovered a top 50 list of new product review blogs. It's called the Top 50 New Product Review Blog List, the top 50 bloggers who review products. And I thought, this is a great little thing to share with my people. So what I did was I wrote a blog post on it, and I linked to where you can find the list of 50, and I also gave some tips, too, on how to pitch them. So you can go over to the blog post, and you can see there's a link within the post. You can click on it and see all the reviewers. And a lot of these are mommy bloggers. We've got some tech bloggers on the list. There are some foodie bloggers. There are lifestyle bloggers. I think I saw one or two travel bloggers. So you can go to budurl.com/pitchreviewers. Plural, budurl.com/pitchreviewers, and you can click on a link within that post and see all the blogs right there that do product reviews. And bloggers are really nice. They're very PR friendly, by the way, much friendlier than traditional journalists are.
So that's an insider tip.
Okay, here's another one. I get a lot of questions, tons of questions about the press releases, and everybody wants a template for a press release. And Hubspot, which I bet most of you know what Hubspot is, they're the big inbound marketing gurus online, and they're very well respected. They have just some fabulous resources. They came out with a free press release template, and they not only that there's nothing sensational about the template. I mean, it's a standard press release template, but what I really like about it is they packaged it along with another big package of materials that are going to help you follow through on an entire promotional campaign. It's a fill-in-the-blanks type of a template that helps you with a promotional plan for whatever it is that you're promoting. And the whole thing is free, and you have to opt in to it. And as soon as you opt in, they'll send it to you. Everything's neat, just neat and clean in one little PDF. And it's really neat. So if you want to take a look at it, you want to go to budurl.com /P like press, R like release template. budurl.com/PR template.
All right. So, well, that's a great tip, especially as I opened up there our hour with that we have, a dozen book award winners. What are the things that you should be doing? You write a press release and you push it out. So.
Yep. Okay. I want to piggyback another HubSpot huge freebie. This is giant. And this is the big enchilada. HubSpot, did you know, Judith, that HubSpot has an entire free marketing library, an entire library of really cool free stuff? There are white papers and articles and blog posts and infographics on virtually every aspect of marketing. They also have in here, in this library, I found 250 free holiday stock photos. They're yours. All you have to do is download them. And I downloaded all of them. And a lot of them are real similar. But you know what? If you're writing a blog post, and you need a stock photo for Christmas or whatever the holiday happens to be, Halloween, you got them right there. And so let me give you the URL for the entire library. It's budurl.com/free marketing library. budurl.com/free marketing library, and that's all lowercase. And there's enough in there to keep you busy for an entire year. It's that good.
Well, perfect. And the smart person would just start going through the holidays, and because you can start planning, do your blogs, and so you have themes going around them. And it's another resource besides, the usual Google Images, or you go to, the other stock programs that they may have images that are just not there, that are not being used as much. So it's great resource.
Right.
All right.
Here's another one for photos. All right. For those of you, I think stock photos are expensive, because I use them a lot. And I don't know if you knew this, but there are they're among the biggest stock photo sites, and they're also expensive.
Okay, Joe, stop. All right, hold on, because we're going to go to another break. So you're going to hear the three giant stock places to go to when we get back. This is Judith Briles, and Nick Zellinger will join us with a quick tip on layout or cover design.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these on the Rockstar Radio Network.
Since 1987, Color House Graphics has set the standard for quality book production. Whether you decide to print a small quantity of books or need a large print run, depend on Color House to help you. You'll receive professional help and advice the moment you reach one of our representatives. If you mention hearing about us on your guide to book publishing with Judith Briles, we will provide you a discount on the first order you place. To speak with a project manager, call us toll-free at 800-454-1916 or visit us at www.colorhousegraphics.com.
When Ned Thompson and Harry Shore started Thompson Shore in 1972, they believed employees with great character would make up the best company. They were right. They hired people who were not only experts in bookmaking, but who were obsessed with quality and delivering exceptional customer service. Almost 40 years later, Thompson Shore remains a 100% employee-owned company. Ned and Harry knew that successful customer projects are a direct result of empowered employees. We specialize in all books for large and small publishers. Creating beautiful and well-made books, we're dedicated to pleasing our customers by making the experience a good one from start to finish. The personal touch we have with our customers allows us to be innovative in solving their most difficult challenges. Our platform also ensures that we can remain flexible to meet our customers' unique needs and expectations. Our marketing kit can create buzz for your title, enhancing the promotion of your book during infancy. When you need to test the market to gauge your future sales, we can provide digitally printed books that will transition seamlessly into a larger offset run. From ebook to hard copy to delivery, our skillful customer service teams are at the ready to answer your most pressing questions. At Thompson Shore, we know that making the highest quality books requires more than just best technologies. It requires superior customer service, professionalism to the trade, and commitment to environmental and social values. With these standards of excellence in place, you can be sure that we will always help you put your best book forward.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask on the Rockstar Radio Network. Coming up, you'll hear more about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
When I opened up our hour, I was talking about some of the awards that some of our clients won, and over a dozen picked up top prizes with the USA Book News. And one of the reasons why they got the top prize is what the books look like, the covers and the interiors. And with me is Nick Zellinger, who is the principal of NZ Graphics, and that's Z as in zebra, NZ Graphics. And .com, where you can check him out. And Nick has been, and actually he's the designer of my last two books, which have now picked up 4 gold awards, which is kind of cool. But Nick, what are we going to talk about today?
Hi, Judith. Well, we're going to talk about book spines, something that probably doesn't get much mention in the design process. Mm-hmm. I'm probably as guilty of this as any designer, as treating the spine for a long time as a sort of an afterthought. You do the design the front and the back, and then all of a sudden you've got a spine width, and you slap on a title and the name, and it's off to the printer. But I got this from an author that I talked to once, saying, "Well, as a designer, what do you give me? Do you give me the front cover and the back cover and the spine, and I send them all to the printer and they put it together?" And I go, "No, as a designer, you do it all as one piece." And then they got to me, to thinking that, spines are important for a variety of reasons. One, obviously, if you have your book on a bookshelf in a regular store, that's the orientation it's going to be. Usually, it's going to be spine out. So how do you make your title stand out from the other books? And the other one, it just makes sense to have a complete design where you've got something that really stands out and pops. And I'm actually in my hands here. I've got J.K. Rowling's new book, The Casual Vacancy, which is a real good example. She's got like a hefty fiction book here, a little over 400 pages. 400 pages, you're usually going to get about an inch to a little over an inch of spine size. So she's got a really huge contrasting color to her spine versus the front. The front's a photo of a village, but the spine is a bright orange. And she's got her name in huge letters because she's a best-selling author, so she can have her name larger than the title. But then, on the spine, you've got, aside from your name and the title, you're going to have, more often than not, maybe the logo of your publishing company or the publishing company that, you've started as an independent author or someone else's. If you're an award winner, you may even have some information about an award. Or if you've got a book that's part of a series or trilogy or a sci-fi or a fiction trilogy or something like that, you'll have some sort of brand that's on the top of the book spine for that series name. Mm-hmm. So you've got a lot of elements that you can play with. But and this goes for books too that are short in length. It doesn't have to be a huge book to have something that's interesting as a spine. You just need to make the spine stand out in some way.
hmm So, and I love the idea of if you look at the Lord of the Rings books, for example, they
Yeah,
actually have a fabulous image of some of the characters that go down 3/4 of the spine, and it really, when you want to think
you're
about your
right.
books setting off, there's a great way to make it pop. So, thank you, and I wanted to share that as we transition back to Joan, but that we're going back to print on my Author U book. We're down to not many copies now, so we're back to print. And we're going to be redesigning the back cover a little bit because what Nick and I are talking about is we have room to do it. He designed it because we really felt we had an award winner. Did we not, Nick, when we were writing this and putting this together?
Yeah, I think that we knew that, and it was our
Yeah.
unspoken goal. But you're right, we did have that in mind.
Yeah. So what we do is we're moving over the barcode and we have room and we're going to put in, I'm not a big sticker fan. I think if you can put all this money in your cover, I don't want to muss it up with sticky stickers. So what we're doing on the back cover is we're going to take the four emblems of the award groups, the companies that have awarded it, and we're going to put the seals actually printed on the cover so they're all right there. So that's another strategy you can think about in doing. All right, Nick, thank you so much. NZ Graphics,
You're welcome.
Nick Zellinger, multi-award-winning interior cover and interior designer. All right, back
Thank
to you're welcome. You're back to the amazing Joan Stewart. She is going to reveal the big three. The big three to us.
These are three big stock photo sites. Well, if you have money and you want to go over there and buy photos, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sure they'll love to take your money. But all three of these give away one free photo a week. And my assistant, every time, every Monday or every whatever day, she goes over there and downloads the free photo from each of these sites. So here are the sites, and you've probably heard of all of them. The first one is Shutterstock.com, Shutter, stock, Stock.com. The second one is Bigstock.com, Bigstock.com. And the third one is iStockPhoto.com. Each one of those three gives away a free photo of the week.
Oh, there you go. All right. So as you're looking around, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, one more photo tip. This one, I love this one. If you do a search for Joan Stewart on Google+, I have one of the coolest, I just love my Google+, the big profile picture up on top. It's a long horizontal picture, and it's the legs. You can see this woman. She's in a car. She's in a convertible. She's got her legs up on the dashboard. She's wearing jeans, and she's got these bright red patent leather shoes on. She's got her legs crossed, and you just see her hands. She's holding a magazine, and there's a picture of my dog and I, a full-page picture in the magazine of my dog and I on the left-hand page, and on the right-hand page, you can see there's a little story about us, and it's my dog and I, another pose on the right-hand page. My dog and I were never in a magazine. I created that photo at a site called PhotoFunia.com, and it's PHOTOFUN, like fun, IA.com, PhotoFunia.com. They give you, I want to say, hundreds or at least dozens of selections. You can just create a picture of yourself that's hanging in an art museum. You can create a picture of yourself on Times Square by just uploading the picture into the little template. You can create a picture of yourself that Barack Obama is holding in front of a lectern with his presidential seal right there. You can create a picture of yourself wearing a Santa Claus outfit with a clown face. You artists, if you have any books on art, you have some great opportunities. You can create a photo of yourself being sketched by an artist. It's very cool. So go to photofunia.com and take a look and just think about all the different ways that you can use these photos. You can use them in your marketing materials. You can have just a lot of fun with it.
Well, I love the
Judith,
idea.
You'll have a blast with this, I know.
Oh no,
it's a lot
and
of fun.
I'm actually as you are talking, I'm looking at the red shoes. It's very cool. And
that
I'm really
cool?
thinking of, again, for seasonal, when you're doing seasonal type of selling or seasonal positioning, literally going up there and finding a photo that is theme related to your blog, for example, where you can drop yourself in. I think that is a way cool thing to do. So I love it.
And all I did,
great.
Judith, with that, the only thing that I had that I used were the two pictures of my dog and I, and then I gave this whole thing to my graphic artist, and because it has to be a long horizontal photo, I gave him my logo, and I told him what words I want on it there, and he just added it, and he cost me like $27 to have my graphic artist do it. And so go to photofunny.com, and you will just have a blast at this site. Okay, let's transition.
that's great fun.
Let's transition out of photos, because I've talked a lot about that, and let's talk about freelance writers, where to find them, okay? You want to start building relationships with freelance writers, because most freelancers work for multiple publications. If you can be a news source for a freelancer who writes for the in-flight magazines, she might also sell to some of the women's magazines. And if you're a good source for one of her stories, she may come back to you again and again and again. There is a free freelancer directory, and it has contact information, and the cool part about it is the freelancers have actually put their contact information right into this directory. It's at the website for the Society of Professional Journalists. It's the Society of Professional Journalists Freelancer Directory. There are more than 2,000 freelancers there, and you can search for them by topic, by state, or by city, which is really cool. And it'll give you a little bio on each one, and it'll tell you what they cover. And so let me give you the website. It is www.spj.org. If you just go to spj.org, you'll find it. The exact page is spj.org/F like Frank, D like Donald, B like boy, .A, S like Sam, P like Paul. Just go to spj.org, and you'll see it right there near the top. Very cool freelance directory. Just thousands of freelancers in there. This little site's a gold mine. I love stuff like this.
Yeah, so what you're saying is that if as you have your expertise in your areas, that you can go up and do a search and reach out to these people, that you're available.
Yes, what I would do, Judith, is most book authors are not really, they don't really want publicity regionally in a specific city. Most authors want publicity everywhere for their book. So I would start by searching on a topic. And I'd take the topic of my book and plug it into the window and then see which freelancers come up. Now, here's a tip before you pitch.
Hold on. All right, I keep seeing this. Joan, we're going to have one more break, and we'll give them the pitch tip when we come back to how to find the perfect freelancer that'll rock and roll and share with you.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these on the Rockstar Radio Network.
Do you sell stuff? Do you want to sell books? Lots of them? If yes, you must take credit cards, the most widely used form of payment today. The Free Terminal has created a special program for your guide to book publishing listeners. No contract, all equipment is free, extremely low rates, and no termination fees ever. Contact Alan Dean at alan@thefreeterminal.com or call him at 303-668-6828. The Free Terminal has handled all credit card transactions for both author you and Judith for over a year. Don't wait another day. Contact Alan at thefreeterminal.com or call 303-668-6828 and tell him you want the no contract author you deal.
The book shepherding concept is simple. The publishing world is changing, and so must you. You need an experienced shepherd and a guide to partner with you as you create, strategize, develop, publish, and achieve your publishing goals. You can't do it alone without paying the price. You can spend your money creating a book that turns out to be so-so, or you can create a book that looks and feels classy, builds your brand, and is a financial success, a bestseller. It's your choice. You choose. You need the book shepherd. Publishing is riddled with obstacles, sometimes nightmares for the author. You don't need problems, you want solutions. Dr. Judith Briles will shepherd you through the maze and the chaos. At times, she's had to step in and rescue a book that has been sabotaged by a publisher, or by a publishing service provider, or sometimes even the author themselves. Judith Briles is the book shepherd. If you want to create a book with no regrets, give her a call today. 303-885-2207. That's 303-885-2207, or email her at judith@briles.com. By the way, Briles is spelled B-R-I-L-E-S. Follow Judith on Twitter at My Book Shepherd and on Facebook at The Book Shepherd.
At Total Printing Systems, customer service is our priority. We are located in Southern Illinois. Our employees have an average of 18 years experience and know that customer relationships are important to our continued success. We have been a short-run book printer for nearly 40 years and always stay at the forefront of technology. Our niche is from 1 to 5,000 copies. Today, we offer digital, black and white, and 4-color high-speed inkjet printing, a cost-effective way to introduce color into your short-run titles. We, of course, offer traditional offset printing as well. Bindery is done in-house, from adhesive case binding to PUR perfect binding to mechanical binding of all types, including side sewing. We provide warehousing, kitting, distribution, inventory management, a new print-on-demand facility, streaming browser-based ebooks, and bookstore. Call us at 1-800-465-5200 for a quote on your next book project. You can also visit our website at www.tps1.com.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask on the Rockstar Radio Network. If you want to write and publish a book, if you want to be successful as an author, your guide to book publishing, everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask, is for you. Stay tuned and you'll hear about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
All right, so what Joan is giving us is the tips on how to pitch a freelancer to get their attention and you become a go-to source for them. So Joan, what are the couple of key things that we do?
Okay, you had better not be pitching them blindly, or you go to the doghouse without your dinner, okay? You publicity hounds, I want you to research them first. Google their name and see what articles you can find that they have written, okay? I want you to go to their social media sites, know about them, Google them, see if they blog, go over to their blog, read their blog. They will probably share some personal tips with you over there, and all of this stuff, some of these little tips, you can use them in your pitch. Somebody pitched me this week. I don't know this woman from Adam. She used the name of my dog in the subject line of the email that she sent to me. Do you think that caught my attention?
Sure. Had to.
Of course it did. So research these freelancers before you pitch and try to find out as much as you possibly can about them.
All right. So any other tips there?
I have 2 more tips. This next one, I'm going to do it fairly quickly. I hope everybody knows what a hashtag is. It is the pound sign, or it's right above the numeral 3 on your keyboard, and you're seeing these little hashtags pop up all over the place on the social media sites. The hashtag is quickly becoming one of the most powerful search and publicity tools on the planet, because it is a way for you to get your content on social media found by people who are looking for the kind of information you provide. If you go on Twitter or even on Facebook, you'll start to see the little hashtags popping up. When I write a post on publicity tips, I will put hashtag publicity tips, no spaces, right at the end of the little tweet. And then anybody who goes to Google and searches for hashtag publicity tips, or in many of these sites like Twitter, you can just hover your cursor right over hashtag publicity tips and click on it, and Twitter will bring up all these other tweets that have hashtag publicity tips within it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And so
if you're confused about what I'm talking about, just do a search how to use hashtags, and they're you can barely watch television anymore without seeing a TV commercial that refers to hashtags.
Exactly.
And if you're not using them yet, I would encourage you to learn all about them because they're becoming very, very important.
Right. Hashtags are critical, and I've been very aggressive on using them, and that's how we've really grown our radio show and some of the other things we do. So I want to encourage our listeners. I wrote a really quite good article on the use of hashtags on the authoru.org blog, and just a few weeks ago. So go up and snag it and use it. Okay, so hashtags. What else?
Okay, my last tip, and this is one that just rolled out last week, and a lot of people don't know about it yet, but I think it's a game changer, and I also think that it is a wonderful way for authors to create a new revenue stream. Most of you already know what Google Hangouts is. Google Hangouts is a way to have an online meeting with somebody. You can have a little hangout with, what is it, Judith, up to 8 people or 11 people or something like that. I haven't done any Hangouts yet, but you can see each other's faces, and the person who talks, their face is bigger, and you can communicate back and forth, and it gets recorded, and then you can upload it to your YouTube channel. Google just rolled out.
Let me just add to that. You can have actually a lot on a Hangout, on both, and then the Hangout errors. They just add on like crazy that you bring along. But you can follow it. You can actually put it in your Google Stream, your Google Plus Stream, that people can check in and watch there. I've been on them with over 100 people that are
but there's
dialoguing
a limit to the
and
number
communicating.
of people who can actually present on it. Correct?
Oh, no, that presenting is a different issue. You want to keep it small,
right.
and I think you're going to create a zoo on it. But I've also done on Google Hangouts, I have done publicity. I've been like a guest on a Kansas City television show, news show, where they will bring it in, and it works. It's very, very cool.
Very good. Okay, so you're going to use the Hangout platform to do what's called a Google Help Out. Google Help Outs, so they just rolled it out last week, and Google Help Outs is where you can have your own page on Google where you advertise how you're going to help people do something. And because you're going to be able to see each other on the computer screen, it's going to require either a webcam or an iPad that has a built-in camera in it, but you're basically going to see each other on the screen. You're going to talk to each other. If you happen to be an expert on how to play the guitar, you can have the person on the other end show you how they're playing the guitar, and you can correct the way that they're putting their fingers on the strings. You can teach yoga classes, yoga poses. You can teach somebody how to whip up a souffle. Think of the things the expertise that you have where you can help somebody solve a problem. So how do you make money from it? You are selling chunks of time to people. Now, a lot of people on the help outs are offering their time for free as a lead generator, but I'm confident enough in my abilities that I would just charge for it. I mean, I know some people offer a lot of free time. You can decide if you want to do it that way. And the exchange of money all goes through the Google. There's a Google Wallet account that you have to have established. I did it last week. I bought some time from somebody to teach me Google Plus strategy, and the whole thing worked effortlessly. It was beautiful. And her caution was, don't start help outs. Don't even think about starting help outs until you have done Hangouts. and until you are completely familiar with the way that the technology behind Hangouts and how everything works, because you don't want to have taken somebody's money and you don't know how to walk them through how to hook up to you. I mean, it'd be very cumbersome. So learn Hangouts first. Host several of your own Hangouts and feel very comfortable doing that before you do a help out.
Well, I love the idea of a help out. So what you're doing is that if you're monetizing it, using that phrase, if you're monetizing it and you have, let's say, another expert on, that they're basically using your platform, your followers, and they're talking about whatever their thing is, and they pay you to be on your platform. Is that what I understand?
No, you wouldn't have anybody with you, Judith. Here's how I think you would do a help out. You could do a help out and sell your time to critique authors' book covers. They hold their book up in front of the screen, and you say to them, you know what, there's no way that's going to sell.
All right, so I need to tell our listeners, I was in Bermuda all last week, so when things roll out, I didn't see this rolling out. But so what you can do is then they come in and they buy their way into the help out. They pay a certain amount of money to come on board for you to handle it. Is that correct?
Exactly. Like, let's say I would charge $150 an hour. They do it with their Google Wallet account or PayPal or however it works, and Google takes 20% and you keep the rest. And there's a money-back guarantee to the person buying the time that if they think they got ripped off or whatever, they can ask for a refund. And if the client wants to, you can record the help out for the client and then give the client the recording. I think it's very cool. And I can tell you that you have to ask for an invitation for a help out. You can't just automatically create one, but you get your own little sales page. You can put your own graphics on it, your picture, write some really nice sales copy about why people should hire you. But again, don't even think about doing this until you've done a Hangout or two or three or four.
Perfect. So in our final minute, how do you, since you said you have to do this by invitation, how do you get an invitation to come play in this game?
You do it. You go to just Google Help Outs, and there's a little video that they'll show you that. And then it'll say something like I think it's in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. They've really hidden it, unfortunately. I think it's in the upper right-hand corner, and it'll say request an invitation. Just click that button and request one. But you should know that Google is really swamped right now, and they're way behind. And it may take them many weeks to get an invitation to you. So just be patient.
Perfect. So that's a great idea. So a lot of times, especially for our listeners who could be consulting or doing one-on-one, Joan and I do this all the time, and I do it a lot over Skype. But this would be another way to do it, and I love the idea of recording it, and then you can flip it around and do that. So that sounds great. All right, we just have a couple of seconds. I want to thank Joan Stewart. Go to the publicityhound.com. Sign up for her blog, connect with her, listen to her webinars, connect with her on Google+. It'll be a home run all the way. Thanks, Joan, for being with us.
Thanks, Judith. Thanks, authors. Good luck with your publicity.
Thank you. All right. This is your guide to book publishing. We'll be back with you next week.
Thank you for being a part of Your Guide to Book Publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Bry.